Hi, Dav.
Hello, Mother.
How are you?
I'm good. I was just working very hard to get this case done, and here we are getting this case done.
Yeah, and I'm hot and sweaty. It's very hot.
It's like a bajillion degrees outside.
It is.
Anywhoods,
Okay.
what you got? What's your facts?
My disturbing fact is...
I hope not about more mummy bread.
No, I wish.
I can't even eat bread, but I don't think I'd eat mummy bread.
My disturbing fact is about myself.
Oh.
And so I had to look it up
Everything?
and see if it is really something or if it's just me being weird. But it's really something.
What are you on about?
Okay, so it's cognitive dissonance. When a compliment conflicts with your core belief about yourself, your brain naturally rejects the praise to maintain your internal narrative. People compliment me, and I always give a million excuses, like, oh my gosh, your hair is so pretty. Oh, well, I need to wash it, and it's really dry, and I haven't done this.
I did that today in class.
And just instead of saying thank you, and I do it all the time, and it's being pointed out to me pretty much on a regular basis because people are
I say shit to you, and I'm like, why can't you just fucking accept the compliment? You look good. You look skinny. Just take it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, oh no, I'm fat. I ate 65 donuts today, which actually is probably, I haven't, but I think I'm going to have to switch back to the donut diet given this vegetable parasite thing. Trying to get fucking healthy at the wrong fucking time.
You know what? I ate some gluten-free little donut things. Like the little chocolate frosted donuts, like the donuts or whatever that you buy that come in the little packets, the Hostess brand. Mm-hmm. I got a version of that in my Hungry Root. Not sponsored, by the way, but I do love Hungry Root. that are like that are protein and they're gluten-free. They were really good. Okay,
good.
Sorry.
No, I'm glad. I'm happy for you. Like I said, it's
back to cognitive dissonance.
So that is one form of difficulty accepting compliments.
Dissonance?
Cognitive dissonance.
Okay. And I've heard about this in psychology class when I was in college and had to take psychology.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I was like, is this really a thing or am I just hate self-loathing or something? I don't know. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yes.
So it's a thing that people do. The first reason that people don't accept compliments is the cognitive dissonance is what I said. And then the second reason, most common reason, or not most common, but the second reason listed here is imposter syndrome, which is a psychological occurrence where you doubt your accomplishments and fear of being exposed as a fraud, making you view praise as undeserved or mistake. And then it also is because of trauma and conditioning. If praise was historically followed by unrealistic expectations, jealousy, or manipulation, deflecting the compliment can act as a protective defense mechanism.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I mean, that makes sense.
It does make sense. And it says, how common is this? So, deflecting or rejecting compliments is an incredibly common human experience. Statistics and psychological surveys highlight how widespread the behavior is across different environments. The general population is about 45% of people admit to openly rejecting. And it's even, of course, more pronounced in women, which is 52% saying that they regularly turn praise away.
Shocker. We've been embedded in.
Yep. And then some behavior studies suggest that nearly 70% of individuals associate compliments with some level of internal embarrassment or social discomfort. And it is more common in high achievers.
Well, I was just thinking this probably relates to why people don't like celebrating their birthdays, right? They don't want to be the center of attention. Mm-hmm. Why people, I think birthdays is probably the most valid one because I think about my best friend Lindsay when she and I go out and celebrate her birthday. I always have the happy birthday crew come around with the big instruments and all that, and she hates it, and it's so fun because it's no, just let us celebrate you. Stuff like that.
And I love to celebrate other people's birthdays, but I hate to celebrate my own.
Yep.
It's most common in high achievers, or not most common, but it's really common in high achievers. 75% of female executives and 71% of U.S. CEOs actively struggle with accepting validation, frequently choosing to redirect credit to luck, timing, or their teams.
That's all very sad facts.
It is very sad facts. That's why I was thinking about it today when I was outside watering the plants and feeding the fish. And I was thinking, why can't I just accept a compliment? Because that's what happens in my brain when I'm doing shit. I just randomly think of things.
Same.
And I'm sure that's also normal. But yeah, I was like, what is that? And then I looked it up and it's something.
It is. It's a thing.
In my case, it's probably a little bit of the first two.
Yeah.
Of just not wanting the attention and having like an internal image of myself that when somebody tells me something, I have to negate it. And then also trauma response.
I think you also have a little bit of imposter syndrome.
I don't think so. I think
I do.
Well, I don't think I'm ever afraid of being exposed as a phony or a fake.
No. Like, you don't feel like you deserve what's happening in your life. That's how I interpret imposter syndrome. Like, I feel like the life I'm living is not, like, I feel like an imposter in my own life sometimes. And like the fact that, you know, it's like, why am I so deserving of this and somebody else isn't?
Oh, I get that.
That's what I think of, like, when I think of imposter syndrome of, like, I feel like, how am I allowed to have a master's degree, but, like, you know, someone didn't go to school or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things I think about with imposter syndrome. And it's mostly things that are really great and happening. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. I personally resonate with the imposter syndrome feelings.
Okay.
So
It's a thing.
it is a thing.
I feel like you are pretty good at accepting compliments, though.
Well, I think I'm proud of myself for a lot of things.
Yeah. I don't think you deflect.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't know. I absolutely did today. My pole teacher, she's like, oh my God, I love your hair. She's like, I feel like every time I see your hair, it just gets longer and longer and longer and longer. And I was like, okay, but it's like really dead right now. And she's like, no, it isn't. And like she touched it. And I was like, I was in the shower the other day. And like, that's when it should be the softest, like when you're taking the conditioner out of it. And it felt like, hey, I was like, I feel like I just need to chop it off and restart. She's like, don't chop it off and restart. I was like, no, I actually am not going to chop it off and restart. But you know, I just couldn't take the compliment that I have pretty long hair.
Yeah. You can just say thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a really hard time being like, well, I did say thank you, but I
In a
justified
roundabout
it.
long way.
No, I said thank you. And then I added the but.
Thank you, but
It doesn't feel beautiful
it's
right
not
now.
true.
I know I have really pretty hair.
You do have really
It
pretty
just
hair.
needs to be a little thicker. There we go with the butts.
Thank you.
Yes, just thank you.
All right.
All right.
What's
Are you
your
done?
case?
Are you done?
I hope so. Jeez.
Accept the compliment and move on. Great job. Moving on.
Well, the other day, Gracie and I, that's my niece, Daphne's cousin, we're outside the store waiting for Daphne. And we're on the street in this like little area that's just like a bunch of boutique restaurants, bars, like just stuff, right? So it's not a mall or anything. It's independent stores. So we're standing out there and this lady comes up behind us and she's just kind of walking by and she goes, oh my God, you guys have the prettiest hair. She goes, walking up on you guys and it's all these different colors and it's just so like beautiful in the sun. And my hair was down and she's like, and it's so long. And Gracie's hair was up and she's like, you guys, your hair is just great. And I did just say thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Well, see, I think about it because then I look at other people's hair and I'm like, I really should just say thank you because you have a horrible head of hair.
My hair is definitely better than yours.
No, Becca has great hair, my instructor. But like other people, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't trade a head with you.
Okay, now I'll stop.
Okay. So our case is inspired by the fact that I turned on Pirates of the Caribbean the other day, or Caribbean, however you care to say it. I fell asleep too. And I was like, because I just needed a comfort movie. And I was like, I need a juicy pirate story in my life. So I was like, ooh, juicy pirate story in Google. And I came across this one, which my mom's like, what do you call this episode? Like, what's the name of it? So, you know, we can make a new audio file, blah, 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 whatever. And I was like, oh, it's called blah, blah, blah. And she's like, isn't that story based on a pirate? And I was like, oh, cool. Okay. Anyway, here we go. This is part legend, part story, just because it happened so long ago that it's like not all verified because it happened so long ago. And there's not even any pictures of this person, like just recounts of what he maybe looked like. So here's our pirate, Captain Samuel Bellamy. He was born probably sometime in 1689.
Yeah. That's why you can't verify it. Plus the legends just grow. You know?
Apparently in the parish of Hiddesley on Dartmoor in Devon in England, though he claimed to be from London. Like he would tell his other sailors that he was from London. This is all according to historians, right? Like this is not all verifiable. The only verifiable things are the boats and that he actually existed. Anyway, he was the youngest of 6 known children of Stephen and Elizabeth Bellamy, though his mom died shortly after his birth, about 3 weeks, I guess, before his baptism. Since obviously this was like, I have long time ago in my notes. We don't know much about his childhood, his parents, his education, any of those things, except that I did read that maybe he came from a poor farming family.
Okay. Did you look up the area to see if it was rural at that time and was a farming community?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah.
That's why.
There you go.
Yeah, but he claimed to also be from London, so.
Right.
So who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
So he became a sailor as a teenager for the Royal Navy, and he fought in several battles during the War of Spanish Succession.
Okay.
That's a tongue twister. He traveled to Cape Cod around 1715 to like maybe see some relatives, allegedly. That's why he traveled there. But it said he either arrived there in early 1715 or the end of 1714. So sometime around there, he's traveling to the United States.
Okay, can I ask a question that you're not going to have the answer to?
I might have the answer to it.
I don't know. How do people know back in those days? Like,
Okay, I wasn't around then. I can't answer that.
I'm not. I'm just saying in general. I'm not saying about your case or your episode. I'm saying in general. I live in England. It's 1714 and my relatives may or may not be in Cape Cod. How the fuck do I know that? There's no mail. There's
because
no
they
telephones.
left to go to England or
But
they
what
left to go to the colonies.
What if they didn't make it? Or what if they went somewhere else when they got there? You don't know.
Carrier pigeon
Okay.
across the Atlantic.
I'm like, it's not like you could just text and be like, hey, are you guys still in Cape Cod? What's up? I'll be there in 14 days.
I'm pretty sure a voyage from England to Cape Cod probably takes a little bit longer than 14 days.
Well, I was just throwing it out there.
However, I don't know. They said that they were leaving for the colonies, then they left for the colonies.
Okay.
But we also don't know if that's why he went there. We do know he was there, though.
Okay.
Maybe.
Sorry, I'll stop. Most likely, probably.
Yep. So he's approximately 25 or 26 at this point when he gets to Cape Cod. Again, some versions of events say he has relatives living there. Others are like, he just went there. Anyway, he's like looking for work. He's not wealthy. He's not important. He's just a person at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Just another sailor looking for work in the colonies because, you know, a bunch of people are leaving England like, oh my God, we're going to the colonies. Like there's opportunity there, blah, 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 whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the story goes that Sam met Maria one spring day in 1715 in Cape Cod. It was love at first sight for both of them.
Aw.
But Maria was only 15 or 16.
Oh.
And
But she was probably an old maid for that time.
right, literally, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, shit, it's probably her 5th marriage. Her family disapproved, I guess, of her relationship with Sam because he was just a poor sailor, right? They were like, some versions, she's the daughter of a well-to-do farmer. In other versions, she's the daughter of a witch. But in all the stories that you read about her, she's beautiful. Is what it said.
Okay.
So there's a lot of lore.
Does she have an Instagram? Can we look her up?
Her Instagram on a brick from 1700s. So there's a lot of lore around her. What did I call her? Did I call her Maria?
Yes, you did.
Okay, well, her name's either Maria, Mary, Goody, Mahitable, or Mariah, or many other things.
Okay.
Hallett, that is allegedly her last name, but we're either going to call her Maria or Mary because that's what she's most commonly referred to as. Hence why I said, did I just call her Mary or Maria? Because I'm like, I think in some parts of this I have her written down as Maria, and others I'm like, Mary.
Yeah, I hate it when I do that.
But I mean, to be fair, no one really knows her name. Much of the mythology around her comes from this professor from her book that she wrote in 1934 that was titled The Narrow Land Folk Chronicles of Old Cape Cod. And she, like, I guess didn't verify a lot of information. She's just like, oh, this sounds good. So it's kind of just now turned into historical accuracy, whether it was or not.
I love it.
I said it, so now it's true.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like now.
Yeah, literally. It was on Facebook. It must be correct.
No need to look any further.
Right. Facebook already told me the truth. Kathleen Brunel, who wrote the book Bellamy's Bride, she was like doing genealogical research into the Howlett family, and she discovered that they were either from Yarmouth or Eastham, and they don't know if the name Howlett was either her original name or her married into name. And they also said that there's no records of any Marias really being in this time because it's a Spanish name. And if they weren't Spanish or Spanish speakers, there'd be no reason to call her Maria. But Kathleen speculates that Mehitable was her real name.
Okay.
So I don't really know where that comes from either. Like, that's kind of more of a stretch in my opinion. I've never heard of anybody being named Mehitable. So one version goes, you know, they fall in love, star-crossed lovers, blah, blah, blah. He's poor. We don't like him. Baby, I'm leaving. I'm going to go sail the ocean and bring you back a treasure. And she's like, oh my God, I am waiting. And the family's like, ew.
Just like that.
Yep. And then she gets pregnant. Another version goes
While he's off or before he leaves?
No, it's his.
Okay.
Another version of events goes that Mehitable was married to a sailor called John Hallett in 1715, the year that he came to town, Samuel Bellamy, the year he got there.
Mm-hmm.
But Kathleen said that Mehitable had an affair with Samuel Bellamy while John, her husband, was at sea. Then after John discovered that she was pregnant and was like, oh shit, this isn't my kid, you whore, you harlot, wear your scarlet A. He cast her out. So regardless, any version of event, she's like ousted by her family, right? Whether any version of event, she's ousted.
Okay.
So this is obviously like a long time ago and infant mortality is high. So depending on which version you want to go with, because like I said, this is like a legend online. She either gave birth to a son that she then hid in a barn for warmth while she went and foraged for food. And when she returned, she found that he had choked to death on straw, or the baby dies in an accident of another nature, or it freezes to death, or she smothers it.
All of those things are bad.
Yeah, I would like to put extra emphasis on the last thing I just said, or she smothers it.
Yeah. Yeah. That one's the worst for sure. I don't know. Freezing to death sounds pretty bad, but killing your own kid seems really bad.
Both really all bad. Any of it, freezing to death, choking on hay, another accident, smothering it, all bad. So obviously, this circulates rumors within Cape Cod area of her being a child killer, which most sources agree that then she was arrested for the child's murder and imprisoned in the old jail of Barnstable in Massachusetts, which was the oldest wooden jailhouse in the United States, which is kind of cool.
Barnstable.
I don't know. I've never been there. I'm not cultured.
Tell me about it. Not you, just in general. We're reading the book.
Oh, I was not the book. I was going to say the freaking comment on the YouTube from when I did the Teflon Don, and I was trying to say something and somebody commented on it and was like so shitty about the way I said something. I commented on it and I was like, I know I'm dumb. LOL.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm not going to.
DOCs?
Yeah, whatever.
DOKCs is how I said it. And you were like, it's DOCs or something like that. And someone was like, you uncultured swine in the comments. I was like, shit.
Excuse me. I'm not Italian.
Right.
Nor associated with the mob.
Nor have I ever been to New York. Moving on. I have been to Africa though, so
okay.
I've got some culture.
Yeah.
Anyway, her sentence was relatively short, but then she was exiled from the town and went to Eastham, where she apparently waited for Sam to come back. So he leaves Cape Cod around early 1716. Like I said, he's like, baby, I'm gonna go get you some treasure. So he leaves with a group of sailors and they go off to the coast of Florida because they're trying to find the Spanish shipwreck. So he was joined by a wealthy jeweler whose name was Palgrave Williams, who was the son of Rhode Island's Attorney General, John Williams, who funded their little expedition, which wasn't so little, actually. I don't know why I said little. Probably because in my notes here, I said it was met with little success. They found no treasure. They soon turned to piracy. Shocker, as many do at this time.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there are any pirates still out there today.
There are, but they still call them pirates when they get on ships and steal stuff and take people hostage. But it's not like, arg, aye, matey.
Ahoy, pirate's life for me.
Yeah, it's not that. Peg leg and eye patch.
So anyway, they like joined this pirate crew under Captain Benjamin Hornigold, who was in command of the Marianne, something like that.
Okay.
Which was a ship that they converted a 10-gun sloop along with his first mate, Edward Teach, who would soon be like feared in his own right as Captain Blackbeard.
I love it.
Another little nudge to a different episode, perhaps in the future.
Daphne's series on pirates. That may or may not be true.
Right. The pirate legends. By 1716 in the summer, Benjamin Hornigold's crew was like, why aren't we attacking English vessels? He's like, because I'm English and like, I'm still loyal. And they were like, well, this is fucked up. What's the point of being a pirate if we can't attack the English? And
what's the point?
So basically they voted him off the island, and they then were like, okay, anyone who wants to be with him can leave. And then Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard, was like, okay, I'm gone too. And then they were like, the 90 of them that were still left on the ship, which sounds like a lot of people on a boat, were like Sam Bellamy, aka who's now going to be called Captain Black Sam Bellamy, was like in charge now. They're like, you're our elected official. You are our captain. We got you. You get to make the decisions from this point forth.
Okay.
Except for that they're kind of in like a democracy. Anyway,
Which is good.
Yeah. So he then ordered his crew to capture a second ship, which was called the Sultana. And they made this ship into a galley, and they approved like all the crew to make the Marianne the flagship, I think, or the other way around. I don't know. I have it in my notes later down. One of them was the flagship and the other one was like the speedy ship.
Okay.
A third ship that was called the Pearl was allowed to go free. Any sailors who were like, we're not going to take up piracy with you, they were gone, you know. They let the people leave who at this point refused to be pirates.
Okay.
Later, they don't. They're like, you don't have a fucking choice or we're going to hang you.
But in the beginning, they're like, yeah, it's cool. You don't have to.
Right, basically. You don't want to live a life of crime? You good Samaritan, you. Get on your way out of here. Richard Nolan was made the quartermaster, and Palsgrave Williams, who he started this voyage with, was appointed as the commander of the Marianne, and they sailed along the French pirate Oliver Levasseur, who left in early 1717 to go pursue his own adventures in Brazil. And he raided the South American coast in his ship, the Postilion. Black Sam Bellamy, he like was coined the nickname because at this time, a bunch of pirates like wore those powdered wigs like you imagine like the founding fathers wearing, or the pirates from Pirates of the Caribbean. I like Caribbean better personally. Anyway, those pirates, or not the pirates, the Royal British Navy wore on that ship. Most pirates wore those. Okay. Right? And most wealthy pirates, I should say. And he was like, I like my own hair. So he had long black hair and he wore a black satin bow in the back of his hair. And yeah, that's how he gained the nickname Black Sam Bellamy.
I wonder if Captain Hook is based on him.
That's funny because I made a note that he was definitely more Captain Hooky than he was Jack Sparrowy because I have a part down here about his outfit. It's coming up in my notes in a sec about what he wore because, yeah, it just was different.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you Google Black Sam Bellamy, this is where you'll find the case because this is what is most commonly referred to as. If you look up Sam Bellamy pirate, you'll also find it, but like this is what this is known as is Black Sam Bellamy or Captain Black Sam Bellamy. So by the beginning of 1717, he had fully transformed himself from being, you know, like a broke down sailor to a full blown pirate captain.
Okay.
Again, this is how the legends all just describe him. He was allegedly very tall, strong, handsome. He was well-mannered, and this was like unlike a lot of pirates, I guess. And so he was just very neat and polished, which, like I said, was giving more Captain Hook than it was Captain Jack Sparrow. That's where I put that in my notes. So thanks for cutting off what I had to say about that.
Sorry.
I was like, feeling so proud of myself. I was like, oh, yeah. And so he was described as wearing long, dark velvet coats with deep cuffs and knee-length breeches and silk stockings and shoes that had silver buckles on them. He had a sword hanging from his left hip, while he had guns, specifically 4 dueling pistols, on his right hip. I don't know how you can use 4 guns at once and a sword, but maybe he had 5 arms.
According to legend.
Again, he refused to wear the fashionable at this point, maybe still fashionable today. I don't know. They might come back around. Powdered wigs.
I was thinking about getting one.
Me too. I've always wanted to look like a founding father.
Well, then you don't have to bathe. That's the whole point. You just put on that wig and put some fresh powder in it and you smell good.
That was the point of them?
Uh-huh.
Huh. Noted.
I mean, probably not the entire point, but
noted. I never have to wash my hair ever again.
Yeah.
Again, like
you
we just
stinky.
talked about.
We put
long
this wig
hair.
on you and put some powder in it.
Long hair, it's very high maintenance. However, there's no records of people actually calling him Black Sam while he was alive. It was later records that showed that he was called, that called him Black Sam because of his way he liked to dress, and all the records about his clothing and just his nicer lifestyle as a pirate.
Okay.
Anyway, that's probably part of the Cape Cod legend. Anyway, the legendy part of it. He was also coined the Prince of Pirates and Robin Hood of the Sea, so much to the point where his men were Robin Hood's men. They called themselves Robin Hood's crew, Robin Hood's fleet, Robin Hood's men.
Wow, they really did. It wasn't they said they were.
Yeah, they referred to themselves as that. So the nickname, it most likely developed because of his leadership style and his reputation, whereas other pirates at this time were way more brutal and way more, I don't know what the right word I'm looking for, hobo chic for the time, pirate chic. So again, he was captain, and then they were a democracy. I just want to reiterate that, because this comes, they did a lot of votes, I guess is the best way to put it. However, he wasn't harmless.
Well, with his 4 guns and sword.
He robbed a lot of merchant ships, threatened sailors, stole cargo. Remember the beginning, he was you need to leave if you don't want to be a part of this piracy. Now he's any boats he encounters, he's oh, you're skilled at being a sailor. You're a pirate now or you're dead. So
you're a pirate or walk the plank.
Basically. Yeah, so he just wasn't one that was he threatened people through intimidation and strategy rather than actually bloodshed.
Okay.
So I kind of liked that about him.
And he was just a bully.
Yeah, I liked it. I was damn, he's effective though.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
He's extremely effective. So he had, again, the heavier, I think it was the Marianne. That was, the Sultana was the one that was the heavier duty that he lived on. That was the flagship.
Okay.
The Marianne was the zippy one. So in 1717, he, and again, Palsgrave, they went to St. Croix to go repair their ships. Apparently, a lot of people went to St. Croix to repair their ships.
Okay.
As they approached the island, they saw a group of men that were on the shore, trying to flag them down, hey.
Over here, we're the mechanics you want.
Basically, they were surviving members of another pirate ship. And just before this, days before, the pirate captain John Martel, he brought his own fleet into the harbor on St. Croix on the northwest side because they needed to careen their ships. And careening was the process where you partially empty a ship and you tilt it onto one side so the sailors could clean it and repair the hole below the waterline.
Jeez.
Because obviously, you're at sea, right? You get barnacles, worms, just standard run-of-the-mill damage that happens to ships. So they need to clean them. And he was this is a great place to park the boat. The Royal Navy can't get me here. Oh, did they? So again, he's we had the perfect hiding place here. And then all of a sudden rolls up a Navy ship. On January 15th, 1717, Captain Francis Hume of the Royal Navy was sailing near the Virgin Islands aboard the HMS Scarborough, a warship that had 30 guns on it.
Ooh.
And Captain Hume had begun searching for pirate ships when he saw the boat arrive to St. Croix carrying a much larger pirate force that was in the harbor, right?
Uh-huh.
And Captain Hume was like, I'm going to get these fuckers. So he starts sailing towards the island. And then the following morning, the crew of the Scarborough spotted all these ships, right? And mainly Martel's ships, Captain Martel's. He refused to take the warship directly because he was like, he didn't want his own warship. He didn't want it to hit the reef or hit any rocks or get damaged on the way.
Okay.
So he's like going in on a smaller boat and he's opening fire from a distance also. Like he's trying to trap them.
Mm-hmm.
So Captain Martel's, his pirates like fired back on the shore. And some accounts claim that they used heated cannonballs in an attempt to set the Scarborough on fire. The Royal Navy responded by bombarding the pirate ships. And basically by 4:00 that afternoon, the Scarborough had sunk and the armed ship that was guarding the channel had also sunk. Captain Hume's on a different boat, you know. Then he turns his guns towards the larger flagship, Captain Hume's flagship, or sorry, Captain Martel's flagship, the pirate, not the Navy.
Yeah. Captain Martel was the pirate, yes.
So basically this went on for days. And by the evening of January 20th, Captain Martel's pirate saw the Scarborough. Wait, I'm so confused. He's got several ships, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm like, there was like literally like 25 ships in this fight.
Nice.
Like, I'm not even kidding.
No,
you.
I believe he was a big
So I'm like,
brawl.
I got lost in my own notes.
That's okay. Yeah, I understand that. The more details there are, whether legendary or not.
Oh, wait, let me
harder it
just
is to
not
keep them
read
all
my notes for this part and break it down for you with my hands that you can't see if you're listening to this, because this is not a video podcast. So basically, this ship's out here in the channel. This ship's parked here, right? The pirates are parked. So the pirates sink one of the boats, and then they think that they're leaving a few days later, that the Navy is leaving, and they kind of draw them out into a point where they get stuck in a channel. The pirates get stuck in a channel, and then the Navy sinks that boat, and basically 20 people that were enslaved people were still on board. And so they obviously died, unfortunately. And then 19 people made it onto a smaller ship. And then the smaller ship, the records die of those people that made it onto a smaller ship. Another group of men with a group of enslaved captives with them fled into the woods. And that's where those records die.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So records that die of the people that are coming onto the woods. The people that got aboard a small ship, the 19 people, they were then later spotted. They were the people that were standing on shore flagging down Captain Sam Bellamy.
Captain Martel's crew.
Captain Martel's crew, but not Captain Martel.
Okay.
He probably died in the woods, right? Along with the other people that he got out of there. But they all probably, unfortunately, passed away.
Okay.
Or that's at least the end of the record we have for them.
Okay.
We don't know if they were injured. We don't know anything. Again, a lot of this probably fable. Fable meaning legend, story.
A tall tale.
Yep. And like not fable, like I don't know what else fable would mean. Not fable, like not fable. So anyway, the Sultana and the Marianne approached Captain Martel's company, right? And they were like, these are pirates who had lost everything, including the people they had collected. And so they were now stranded where they were like, the Royal Navy could come back and get us at any time. And Captain Sam Bellamy was like, you can come be a pirate for me. Like, that's fine. You can come earn your keep on my boat. So many of, apparently, allegedly, his surviving people, Captain Martel's surviving people, had joined Captain Black Sam's company. And then they left for St. Croix before the Royal Navy could return. So this is just basically what a badass he is, that he's like dodging the Royal Navy, right? So he was not only capturing ships and stealing cargo, but he was also, you know, like getting other people's crew onto his boat. So he's just pretty much a badass. Like there's a reason why there's stories about him.
Right.
And that there's fabrication within the stories.
Yes,
unfortunately.
and that.
I'm like, I wonder how much of this is true.
All of it.
Hopefully. Except for that we don't really know Mary Maria, whatever her name is. Goody. So yeah, he's basically no longer a minor league pirate at this point. So when he's leaving St. Croix, his crew spotted the Whydah galley, which was sailing through the windward passage between Hispaniola and Cuba.
Okay.
And this was an English slave ship that was made in 1715. And apparently it was a revolutionary vessel. It was 102 feet long, 300 tons, and could reach speeds up to 13 knots and was armed with 18 cannons. And so it was just crazy. It was on its maiden voyage and it had just finished its second leg of the Atlantic slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
And it was loaded with fortune in gold, ivory, indigo, Jesuits' bark, and other precious goods. And this became from the sale of 312 slaves on the boat. Black Sam Bellamy set off in pursuit of the boat. It took him about 3 days to chase it down. And when he was getting close to fire on the boat, one of his crew members would later say, quote, "They spread a large black flag with a death's head and bones across and gave chase to Captain Prince under the same colors." So after one single shot from the Sultana, the Whydah surrendered, with Captain Lawrence Prince ordering its flag to be lowered. Captain Prince was a former buccaneer under Sir Henry Morgan. With his reputation for mercy and generosity, he rewarded Prince's surrender without a struggle by trading the Sultana for the Whydah.
Sounds like not that I would be a pirate, but it's like, wow, this new ship is great. It's a badass ship.
I would really like this ship. Get off.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just, everything I read, which is why I'm trying to read off of my notes somewhat here, because these are all like kind of technical terms that I don't really know very much about. In terms of pirating and sailing and all those things. Like, yeah, I've been on a boat in the ocean before, but that's the extent of my knowledge. Water blue. Fishy swim. Anyway. So again, the Whydah is not a pirate ship. It's a slave trade ship. So there were 312, like I said, enslaved people on there. Gold, silver, sugar, indigo, other valuables that they were trying to take back to America to sell. So when Black Sam Bellamy captured it, it was not like he was freeing all these slaves. Like, they were already sold. So he was like, I guess I better get them to where they're going. But he stole the things on the boat, right? Like all the things that like
were valuable.
Yeah. So, he still had like essentially blood money with him. He converted the Whydah into a heavily armed pirate flagship. He removed the structures that made it top heavy, including the 18 cannons. He increased those, though, the firepower from 18 to 28, but he removed a lot of the structures that made it top heavy. The ship was very fast. I guess it carried more than 120 at this point when he was in charge of it. Pirates, prisoners, and forced people on board.
Okay.
So as he's traveling back north towards like Cape Cod again, because again, he's like returning for his love to go back to Cape Cod because he's like, oh, I found my treasure. I'm like pointing like with my hands like, I'm on a boat traveling north. So he's traveling back there on April 26, 1717. His fleet captured a merchant vessel called the Mary Ann near Cape Cod, not to be confused with the other ship, the Mary Ann.
Okay.
He has now another ship called the Mary Ann.
That won't get confusing.
I know, right? 7 pirates took control of the ship, stole clothing, wine, and threatened members of the crew. Later that day, powerful winds, rain, fog, all of the things, storm conditions, storm weather started setting in. So the ships placed lights at their stern so they could follow one another through the darkness, but they got separated in the storm.
Okay.
So the Mary Ann ran aground, trapping both the pirates and the prisoners aboard overnight. So they were like terrified the ship was going to break in half, and they asked one of their prisoners to read them prayers. And so they're like but it worked. The Mary Ann survived the night.
How nice.
The Whydah, though, was like very dangerously positioned. And around midnight, the ship struck a sandbar and was battered with enormous waves. The mast collapsed and the ship capsized, and men and cannons and weapons and the treasure were all lost in the Atlantic.
Ah,
Yeah. Approximately 146 people were believed to be aboard the Whydah. Only 2 known men survived. Samuel Bellamy, who was only 28 at this point, had disappeared with his ship, and his body was never identified.
Oh.
Why do you say, oh?
Okay.
Why? What did you think happened?
I don't know. I would assume, like all pirates, he just keeps going and going and going.
Not when you're dead.
No, not when you're dead.
Unless you know, are on the Black Pearl.
Yeah. So
And the moonlight shines and you're brought to life.
So he never brought Mary Maria her treasure,
Nope.
and she was a baby killer.
And maybe.
And
Yes.
maybe.
And maybe. So the following morning, pieces of the ship, stolen cargo, and human bodies began washing up on Cape Cod because they got close.
Okay.
Local residents who reached the wreck before officials were obviously taking shit from the wreckage that they could.
Yeah.
They were pirating their own goods off the beach.
Like they're like ivory, indigo.
Right.
Well, probably not sugar. I guess it depends on how it was packaged.
Captain Cyprian Southhack later had a record that 102 of the drowned men they buried along the shoreline there.
Oh.
So the aftermath obviously was bad for days, mixed of body and treasure and boat parts washing up on shore from the storm.
Mm-hmm.
And Black Sam Bellamy was believed to still be dressed in his outfit. Again, he was never found though. So that's how the legend is also Black Sam Bellamy and why it's so infamous. So the two known survivors were Thomas Davis, who was a carpenter, and an indigenous pilot who was identified as John Julian.
Okay.
Thomas Davis was placed in changed and accused of piracy. Shocker. He was.
Placed in chains.
What did I say?
Change.
Yeah, that. Sorry. I'm having overload of brain right now. Stress.
I hear it.
Trying to rush to get this case completed and timeline. Like, that's the thing. I read so much about this. I was like, how do I sort fact from myth?
You don't.
Right. So correct. I wasn't there. Anyway, they're accused of being pirates, but witnesses apparently were like, Black Sam Bellamy was forcing people to be a pirate. Da, 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 da. You know, so he was like, he got acquitted.
Okay.
Because he
was forced, not really.
Yeah, he was forced into the lifestyle. John Julian's fate, though, we don't exactly know. Some people believe he was sold into slavery after the fact, which is really sad because he was escaping a slave ship and then sold into slavery. Yeah, we just don't know what happened to him. There's no records. 7 pirates aboard the Mary Ann survived and attempted to escape through Cape Cod. They were later captured, taken to Boston, placed on trial. 6 were convicted of piracy, and then they were hung. So I don't know what happened to the 7th, but
okay.
maybe he escaped.
Or got acquitted.
Yeah. I don't know how one would get acquitted, though. According to the legend, Maria Hallett continued waiting for Black Sam Bellamy and eventually became known as the Witch of Wellfleet. Some versions of her have her wandering the dunes of the beach in storms, like calling his name, that she's just a ghosty. So now the kicker, we don't even know if she was a real person. So all that for nothing.
Okay.
All that for nothing.
All that for nothing.
Or we don't know if Sam ever actually fell in love with her.
Because if she wasn't a real person, he couldn't have fallen in love with her.
Basically.
For real, there's no record of her ever being born?
So there's a comment from 2020 on this Wikipedia page about Black Sam Bellamy.
Mm-hmm.
And this person says that they're a relative of Mary Hallett. And it says that Mary Hallett was born in Barnstable and that there is a grave in Eastham. And there's a baby grave named Samuel next to the grave of Mary Hallett from 1698 to 1746. But the person who left this comment says that it's also possible that Mary Hallett was a cousin of Samuel Bellamy, which is why he said that he had to go to Cape Cod, remember?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I have family here. So who the fuck knows is basically the conclusion of this.
She doesn't have a find-a-grave?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, damn it.
I looked.
Okay.
The Whydah remained buried beneath the sand for more than 260 years.
Wow.
In 1984, underwater explorer Barry Clifford located the wreck and a bell, which was marked the Whydah Galley 1716, and confirmed its identity.
I would love to do that.
Go find shipwrecks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, that'd be so fun.
So it's the first positively authenticated shipwreck that's ever been discovered.
Seriously?
Yeah. I don't know if it's the last, but it was the first.
Pirate.
Yeah, pirate shipwreck.
Okay. Because I'm like the Titanic.
Yeah, pirate. Among the artifacts that were recovered from the wreck were a child-sized leather shoe that had a little kid's bone leg.
Aw.
and they believe it belonged to John King, who was a young boy who begged to join Black Sam Bellamy as a pirate, and he would learn the ways after he was a part of a ship that was captured that had his mother on it as well.
Aww.
So he's like stepping up to the plate to go to work. Isn't that so sad?
That's really sad.
Yeah, that's really all I got.
Okay. Well, I liked it. You said I was bored, but no, I liked it.
It was just kind of all over the place, even for my taste. I'm like, I just did all this research and read it. And then I'm like, I read my notes after I put together. I guess maybe I need to start reading it aloud and practicing to myself.
Practicing
to
yourself.
I'm like, I don't know how to say half these words aloud. Apparently.
It doesn't do any good.
No, it doesn't.
Because I do it and do it and do it. And then my brain does it the way that I think it was in the first place. Like when we recorded that one yesterday and I don't.
See, I think if you were to read this like a report, it would make a lot more sense.
Okay. Well, it'll be fine.
Than my speaking it aloud. Mostly. Yeah, that was all she wrote.
All right. I like it.
I am very fascinated by pirates, and I was like, I need something a little bit lighter. So that's how I stumbled into him. I was like, I don't think he directly killed anyone. And I was like, okay, I'm cool with this.
According to legend, he was a nice guy.
According to legend, he was an effective strategic pirate. And it's crazy, though, that like they found a little kid bone on the boat that and they said that he was probably a pirate. Because, I mean, obviously these 2 men that came off the boat had to document some shit about the boat, right?
Right.
And the 7 men that were captured off of the Mary Ann.
Yeah.
Not the Marian.
The
Mary Ann.
So they gave details.
Yeah.
And then they were recorded.
Yep. So, I mean, that's how they know the little kid belonged on the boat.
Yeah.
They wasn't just a body that was
randomly there.
Right. Randomly got washed into a crash.
To a shipwreck.
Yeah.
Well, cool. No, I like it. Thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully it was fluid.
It'll be great.
Okay, if you want to see sketches of what Black Sam Bellamy might have looked like and what Mary Maria Goody, blah, 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 may have looked like.
Howlett.
Yeah, Howlett.
You can go to her Instagram page.
Yep, on bricks. Waiting for my love, number 1776. Oh, wait, that was the year America was built. 1715.
Yeah. Like,
not built, founded.
Yes, founded, even though it was already founded.
Founded twice over. All right. Okay. If you didn't like today's case, don't say a fucking word about it. Just keep your mouth shut. Okay.
They didn't get this far. They didn't.
Right. Okay, that's all they listen to. You can follow us on Instagram at That's Disturbing Podcast if you maybe want to see a sketch of what these people maybe looked like. No, you'll definitely see a sketch of what they maybe looked like. Not maybe. It'll be there. You just have to...
The Instagram post will be there.
Will be what they looked like. Because again, fact, fiction, sorting it all out. It was crazy. Yeah. Yeah, fact and fiction. Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at That's Disturbing Podcast. You can send us a case request on our Instagram page. Just DM us or comment. Or you can send it to our Gmail. That's disturbingpodcast@gmail.com. Just don't fuck with the Facebook. I've already talked about this in a different episode. It is annoying me. It is stressing me out. Screw you, Facebook. Like, we're good. We don't need you. Since you don't want to play with us, we don't want to play with you. Yeah, that's all. Bye-bye.